Hello and welcome to Universe Mode. This is as late as it can be. ECW. Very late and very not on time. Not live, probably, from the makers of that one chocolate bar in Hershey, Pennsylvania. It's ECW time. It's time to make a big card statement-y thing. And, well, on the road to WrestleMania, what better way to do it than with, big matches all around, and we're certainly delivering big matches, aren't we, when we have Seth Rollins and Baron Corbin going at it. Baron Corbin, who I have labelled on occasions before to be the future of this brand, to be the next hot potential of ECW. Can he prove himself when he goes up against the man who is just now 4 weeks away, or 3.5 weeks away, from redesigning, rebuilding, and reclaiming ECW? And then our main event, it's a return match from the Royal Rumble, non-title, obviously, but for the first time since since Bailey Legal, actually, Michael Bennett's in action, and he's taking on Diamond Dallas Page. What a main event that's going to be. You're welcome. And now we're going to kick things off with Cruiserweight Championship action. Yes, we're all over the place. What a show we've got for you here tonight in ECW as Eddie Guerrero comes out. Anyways, I'm your host for this evening, the ECW General Manager of this fine show, obviously. The living legend, Loud's Crisco, joined as always by the Raw General Manager, JDL, John Dave Show-Layfield.
We lie, we cheat, we steal.
We do it on whatever night this is.
We do it on ECW. That's what
yes. He's, Eddie Guerrero, that SmackDown superstar, obviously.
Yeah, but he's doing it on ECW.
He was. He cheated his way into ECW.
He kind of lies, cheats, and steals about being a credible Cruiserweight Championship contender, too. What exactly has he done anytime recently?
Well, he got voted in, so there you go.
There you go, I suppose.
That's kind of it. He's
addicted to the heat.
Well, it's a good thing we're in Hershey, Pennsylvania then. I'm pretty sure it's quite cold.
Yeah, I would have to imagine it's pretty cold there. I mean,
so there you go. You can kick the heat now.
There you go. Well, maybe he's going to bring the heat. He's bringing the heat with him. So maybe it's a good thing to come here then tonight.
Well, that might be problematic. What if they don't want the heat?
Well, I mean, we might want the heat. We don't want to deal with this cold area around here.
Well, yeah, that's a fair point. I don't know, but
you can follow this. You can follow this guy on Twitter at Kota.
Ah, there you go.
That's what came up for his nameplate.
That's quite a good Twitter handle if you ask me. But
yeah.
Anyway, Ibushi getting ready to defend his Cruiserweight Championship.
Yes.
Finally against a credible opponent and not Jamie Noble.
Well,
Eddie Guerrero's
really credible.
Former ECW champion. We just take the stats as they come.
A couple of years ago.
Yeah.
That's like saying that somebody like Bret Hart would be a credible world champion.
I'll have you know, Eddie Guerrero was ECW champion the same time CM Punk was world champion.
Wait, wasn't he ECW tag or television champion? I thought he didn't hold the top prize. I thought it was a TV title.
No, he was ECW champion. Are you accusing me of not knowing my own brand? My brand's past?
No, he was ECW television champion.
Yes, at the end of 2015. The start of 2015 was nowhere near the NWO.
Well, that's how much I pay attention to your brand.
You weren't even alive at the time.
I was alive, I just wasn't here.
Exactly, so you weren't alive.
I was busy with the American Border Patrol.
Exactly, so you weren't alive. You weren't relevant. There you go.
Speaking by the way of myself and being relevant and everything, it actually ties in with this matchup. Tune in next week, ladies and gentlemen, to see Project Universe's very first ever Cruiserweight Classic.
Yeah.
Look at that tie-in.
I got distracted there because Oscar came up on the Titantron.
Oscar face. Yeah, that's right, ladies and gentlemen.
Seems to, yes. Yeah.
Starting next week, Cruiserweight tournament. We're gonna do the same thing we did with the women. Bring in some new cruiserweights and see what happens. And the winner of the tournament gets a shot at whoever the Cruiserweight champion is at that point. I'd imagine before WrestleMania, because I'm assuming WrestleMania is gonna be a whole bunch of chaos. But
well, probably. Well, it depends on where you get the tournament out.
Well, the tournament will be starting next week, and it should be done either next week or the week following. It depends on how many people decide to bring into this thing.
Well, it depends, because, I mean, the Cruiserweight
Championships... We already have quite a few Cruiserweights in the Project Universe as it is, so it's going to be hard finding Cruiserweights that aren't in the Project Universe right now.
But no, it's supposed to be defended every 2 weeks. That's what I'm suggesting. So with it being every 2 weeks, you may want to get ahead of, because otherwise they're going to have to be involved in the clusterfuck at WrestleMania.
Well, then, ladies and gentlemen, you're hearing this first. Remember, Cruiserweight Classic for the Project Universe is going to be taking place only next week. We're going to do the entire tournament next week.
There you go. Get 8 people. Job done.
No, we're getting 16 people. We're going to every single day of the week next week. You're going to see that on video.
I'm amazed there are still 16 cruiserweights living on this planet.
There might be. You know what? It's because it's the qualifications to be in the tournament. Is that you just have to be, you just can't be an active member of the Project Universe. So we could bring back some non-active people. I might have some possibilities that I could reach out to when it comes to non-active people in the cruiserweight division here.
I thought we took
like a certain former Fate of Fortune winner from here on ECW. Just throwing that out for a possibility.
I thought we took him out back and shot them.
No.
Oh.
How can you take out a guy like that out back and shoot him? Which, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, we're not going to spoil who that is. But if you want to know who it is, you know where you can go to find that out.
Wait. Don't tell me. It's on the tip of my tongue.
All right.
Is it the Project Wiki?
It is the Project Wiki, where you can find all of your past information from the Project Universe.
Back to being out of date.
Well, it's relative. It's like only a month out of date. You'd still be able to find out who the Fate or Fortune winner from back then.
Yeah, it's a fair point. That was about a year and a half ago, so.
Yeah.
Or 2 years ago.
And the rosters are up to date. It's just the win-loss records that are out of date.
Yeah. And if you want to know how long people have held the title for, well, you can certainly look at how long it was about 2 weeks ago. That's very in date.
I'm going to give you a bit of a spoiler alert right now. There's probably a good chance that win-loss record ain't going to be updated anytime soon because, I got to deal with this Cruiserweight Classic tournament.
Yeah.
And then we got WrestleMania, so...
Exactly.
It might not get updated until after WrestleMania, ladies and gentlemen.
Exactly. And no way am I dealing with that shit. Oh, there's my pristine ECW production crew back at it.
So that production glitch right there over is supposed to be better than the one that we had on Raw or SmackDown or whatever show that was that we were working on.
Which one?
Well, there was one that you were ridiculing. Yeah, it was Raw because you were ridiculing my production team for doing that, for putting that up, and then now your production team goes and puts that up. Yeah, well, our production team did it first, so. But that was in the main event of a marquee matchup, Number one contendership was on the line then. This is the opening show, you sort out all the problems. But this is for a championship. Yeah? You can't do it in the middle of a championship matchup. Oh, backstabber. You definitely can. Are you saying something bad about the Cruiserweights? Nope. I'm just saying that you definitely can in the opening match of the show. Alrighty. Would you like to know? Kota Ibushi, if you want to, Kota Ibushi or Eddie Guerrero, if you want to start coming to defend your Cruiserweight title on the better brand, then give me a call. Yeah, tough shit with that one, mate. You're fuck out of luck. Because clearly they don't care about you on this show. That's why they have production issues during your match. They're physically contracted. The Cruiserweight Championship is contracted to be defended on ECW, so you're not getting out of that one. I don't know. You never know what happens after WrestleMania. Oh my god, don't start. Shut up. Shut up. Eddie Guerrero working on the arm. That'll help him out when it comes to doing that frog splash. I mean, it could help out slightly with the Corey special. I think he still does that. Nope, he hasn't done that ever. It's going to help him with the lasso from El Paso. It could help stop when it comes to Kota. Well, how is this going to help him out? That stops Eddie flying. It's going to stop Kota Ibushi from hitting anything of his heading forward. And now Eddie Guerrero's... As the Irish whips him with the arm that Eddie Guerrero was working on. My God, it's almost as if this is a work, ladies and gentlemen. We don't make sense. It's still real to me, damn it. Oh, look at this. That arm work by Kota didn't solve shit because here comes Triple Amigos. Would that be Trace Amigos? Triple. You're not being very.
You know
very
I don't know
appreciative
Mexican well.
Of our Mexicans out there. We used to have a Mexican general
says
manager,
you,
so.
the versatile racist who every time a Mexican shows up, you want him to be deported.
I mean, you know, that's not true anymore.
Name me a successful Mexican on your
plus,
roster.
what are you talking about? That was Tyson Kidd that got trying to get deported. He's not Mexican.
Oh, that's old news. No, you said a lot about
Kota
Mexicans.
Ibushi kicks out of the frog splash.
Name me a successful Mexican on your brand.
Obviously, we've got Finn Balor.
He's Irish.
He's Irish-Mexican.
No, he's not. He's just Irish.
We have, of course, Sting.
No, he's definitely not Mexican. He's too white.
We of course have Carmella.
No, she's from New York.
Successful anyway. She's not successful anyway. That doesn't help.
They sound about as foreign as one another, but you know.
I mean, she might have some Mexican in her, I guess. Maybe.
You call her a slag?
No, I meant like her family history.
Aye.
I meant like her genealogy, or whatever the word is. You know, she
not
might,
the study of rocks.
Maybe she has an ancestor who's Mexican.
This just in, Carmella is a rock. She is the rock.
What?
Geology.
I said genealogy.
No, you said geology.
Well, you know, she hasn't really had any success on Raw, so she's basically the Rock holding down the division.
Boom. Problem solved. Do you know what successful Mexicans there are on our brand?
Well, it's not Eddie Guerrero because he's on SmackDown.
No, there's none. We don't have
successful?
any. We don't
so
have women,
can't come after me about
Mexicans.
it.
I mean, I can label. No, Seth Rollins only has Mexican heritage. That's not really Mexican.
The only brand that has Mexicans are the ones that have or still had a Mexican stable at one point, which was LAX.
Oh, good God. The most successful Mexicans are in NXT.
Well, I mean, I don't know about that. I mean, on SmackDown they got Eddie Ray and Sasha. They're like the Mexican trio there.
Isn't Sasha from, like, Boston?
Yeah, but remember, she was just randomly, like, really good friends of theirs recently, so we included her in the Mexican stable there.
Yeah, no, I don't think being friends with a Mexican makes you Mexican.
Well, it's because she
I'll tell you what, a frog splash can make you a match cruiserweight champion. Can he do it? 1, 2. We've got a new cruiserweight champion.
Well, there you go. Kota Ibushi just kind of failed in this matchup. He really didn't have
Yeah, he didn't do that good of a job, to be honest. It's because he hadn't been taking on an actual threat to a championship. He'd been taking on Jamie Noble.
Well, I mean, to be fair, is Eddie, before this matchup, did you really think that Eddie Guerrero was much of a threat to this championship?
Yes.
He hasn't done anything in years. This is his first championship since the TV title.
Yeah, and that was a year ago.
2015 was not a year ago. It was a year
2016 was a year ago.
You said it was 2015.
No, ECW Championship was 2015. Television Championship was 2016.
You said the television title was late 2015.
No, I didn't! Oh
you
my
can go back
God!
to when we were talking about it in this video.
No,
I
said...
it was late 2015.
No, late 2015, early 2016. He dropped the title.
Regardless, what has he done over on SmackDown since then?
Nothing.
Exactly. So you still couldn't have really predicted he would have won. Especially because Ibushi at least looks somewhat decent in his matches, but just couldn't get any offense in his match today.
It's because he's been wrestling Jamie Noble.
Nevertheless,
we're
going to...
Royce!
There you
go. Well, due to what happened at No Mercy, we have a bit of a situation going on between these ECW Tag Team Championship. And I know that sounds stupid, but hear me out a sec.
Wait, No Mercy?
Yes, hear me out a sec.
Wasn't that like a long time ago?
No, that was 5 days ago.
Oh, right. Okay. I wasn't there for it. I don't know anything.
Right. This is, you see, even though that was a SmackDown exclusive pay-per-view, there was a bit of an issue regarding that because that man, this Austin Aries showed up at No Mercy. I didn't know. No one else knew. Aries just kind of out of the blue walked into No Mercy and, well, he called out CM Punk.
Should you know that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I had no idea.
He's a contracted wrestler.
Yeah, but he did. Yeah, but just because he's contracted doesn't mean he can't just run away and do his own thing. This is Austin Aries. Come on. He's the greatest man that ever lived. I like to give him some leeway.
So basically, you're saying you have no control over your roster here on ECW.
I fucking hate you. You are worse than... Why do you go work for CNN at this rate? Because you twist my words and make bullshit headlines out of them all the time.
I think you're talking about Fox News.
No, CNN.
Look how many months you've ridiculed me and tried to make me look pathetic as the Raw general manager. I have to start enjoying the fact that you could be getting that shoved right back in your face now.
I've been ridiculing you for 1 month.
No, you have been ridiculing me for months.
How have I been ridiculing for months?
You have not been a fan of mine you have not been a fan of me being the Raw general manager ever since I took over the position.
On numerous occasions, I have said you have booked a very good card or a very good show.
And also on numerous occasions, you've talked about how I have no control over my roster, which
yes,
with Austin Aries showing up in No Mercy,
in the last month. No, Jesus Christ!
No, what about all the attacks? What about all of Finn Balor's attacks?
No one has control over Finn Balor, and even you said on those occasions, "I have no control over Finn Balor." Yeah, so that's a bullshit one for one. So shut up. You are trying to use words against me that you have backed up yourself. I was just agreeing with you. No one can control Finn Balor. Stop trying to paint me in this situation as the bad guy, right?
No, because you're not a bad guy at all, right?
No, wait, no.
TKO.
I'm not the one who likes to support corruption. I'm not the one who likes to hand out favors to all of my friends.
Wait. You're not the one that likes to... You're supporting this whole idea that corruption exists anyway.
How is that corrupt?
I'm not saying...
I'm fighting for the hardworking men.
Well, I'd like to... Yeah, the few hardworking men that are complaining about it. Meanwhile, the masses do not like the fact that there's this whole corruption supposedly thing going on.
Yeah, they don't like the corruption taking place, but you have silenced the majority and forced them to stay down. The Bullet Club, meanwhile, are the minority who actually want their voices to be heard and will take action against your corruption and your bullshit ways.
So you think?
No, let's paint me as the bad guy. Ooh.
Speaking of corruption, there's a chair.
Awful segue.
Awful
segue.
Well, I was trying to turn it into something else, but it didn't work. So.
But you know what? No, you know what you did? You ruined my show once more by making me go off on a tangent. So thank you for that. I was trying to explain a point.
So, Konnor just distracted the referee, and Aries tried to use the chair there.
Yeah, I don't give a shit because I was trying to explain a point. And the point was what took place at No Mercy when Austin Aries showed up and called out CM Punk.
Yes.
Aries, for whatever reason, even though he has an opportunity to become a Grand Slam champion, is not complacent with the idea of that. He wants to end what he feels as if he could not kill. He wants to end CM Punk. And on the night of No Mercy, a verbal agreement was made between the two that has... They've agreed to a match at WrestleMania. And so due to this, and due to my desire to see a rematch between those two incredible athletes, I've made sure that 2 weeks from now, as opposed to at WrestleMania, the Dirty Heels will challenge the Ascension for the ECW Tag Team titles. Whether or not Aries wins or loses that tag match does not make a difference. CM Punk versus Austin Aries, whenever it is signed into question, will be taking place at WrestleMania. Meanwhile, the referee dropped the chair down so Austin Aries could brainbuster Viktor onto it. The referee's in his pocket.
There's some corruption right there.
I don't, hey, like I said, I give Austin Aries some leeway. Oh.
Aries is mad about those ropes.
Maybe... Oh, you're out of here. Go that way, Konnor.
Go towards the crowd.
Go up through the crowd. No, he's leaving. All right, well, that's like the second time in 2 managerial matches where the other member of the Ascension has been kicked from ringside. So,
I mean,
that's a good job, there.
Clearly, they just, they're so used to being a tag team that they're not used to being in the managerial role, and they don't clearly know what to do with it.
I do kind of have a fear next week though for Curtis Axel, because he has to go one-on-one with Konnor, and as people saw it barely legal, Konnor can seriously hold his own in that ring at this point.
Yes.
Oh! There's that roaring elbow that could end off this match. Will it be a win for the greatest man that ever lived? Not yet. Viktor kicks out at 2.
Apparently the referee is not in Aries' pocket.
That was a very fair count, but I don't know how much longer Viktor's going to be staying in this one for. Got to think Austin Aries' mind right now, it's filled with such busy thoughts as well. 2 weeks from now, you're defending you're trying to win the ECW Tag Team titles, and then 2 weeks after that, or a week and a half after that, you're challenging your arch rival once again at WrestleMania in a grudge match.
Yes.
That is going to be one hell of a match at WrestleMania. I cannot wait. But right now, Aries is making sure that his team builds momentum into the title match. Brainbuster to Viktor. It looks like it's going to be another singles victory for the most experienced man in this universe. Austin Aries, dead center, middle of the ring, hooks the leg on Viktor. We get 1, 2, and 3. Job done.
There you go.
Pretty simple victory, but this is the question that I would pose forth to you.
Okay.
Would singles victories really matter in a tag team matchup? You can get singles momentum all you want and that will assist you, but would you argue that winning a tag team matchup is, or would you argue that winning a singles matchup is not really that much when it comes to developing tag team momentum because you're not really working as a team? It's a singles effort.
Yeah, I would have to agree. I mean, it's, you're not really gaining a whole bunch of momentum by beating one half of the team. I mean, it's more impressive if you can manage to get a non-title victory over them, or obviously the title victory, but, it's just one-on-one action isn't really as impressive because you don't have to run the risk of, tagging out or worry about double team moves or anything like that.
Mm-hmm. I think an example we can actually use to prove with the Ascension as well is when they were having back and forth matches against Arn Anderson and Chris Jericho in singles matches. Came to that tag team match before the Rumble and they destroyed them.
Yep.
Flat out destroyed them. But here comes our tag team matchup for tonight. We have a Europe's Finest Fallout.
There's so much pyro going on right now.
Yeah, there is. We fund this for Neville. Yeah, we have a very interesting tag team matchup going on. Neville is going to be tag teaming with Cesaro to take on the team of Sheamus and Wade Barrett.
Oofa.
You were here 2 weeks ago for it, if I remember correctly, when Cesaro was bullhammered by Wade Barrett.
Yes, I was here.
And, there were a whole lot of questions surrounding that. Wade Barrett answered them last week by stating that he never liked Cesaro once again. He always had that grudge against him, and he's always wanted to just end Cesaro's career. And clearly the match at WrestleMania last year accomplished nothing. There's still a grudge feud between them. And with Wade Barrett having a title around his waist, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to announce right now that at WrestleMania, Cesaro and Wade Barrett will collide once more for the ECW Television Championship.
Oofa.
This is a feud that is only going to be settled on the grandest stage of them all.
I mean, it makes sense. Just makes our WrestleMania even more intriguing than some other show, some other company's WrestleMania.
I mean, God, look at our world title match that we got scheduled right now. Tyler Breeze and Shinsuke Nakamura, DDP and Seth Rollins.
It's the only WrestleMania where you're going to be able to see a main event that goes longer than 7 minutes.
Exactly.
Well, hopefully.
And then, of course, we've got all the things going on SmackDown, which will have an awful lot of explaining to do when that show comes around. My God.
Yes.
We're in for a fun few weeks heading onto the road to WrestleMania. You can feel the shift and the feeling in the arena. There's a change to it. Everyone's gearing towards WrestleMania. The hype is finally reaching us. And then, of course, a week and a half from now, we've got King of the Ring.
That we do, which is another. I mean, that's kind of an interesting placement that we decided to put that into, because everybody starts focusing on WrestleMania, and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, look, here's King of the Ring. You got to get focused on that. Because
King of
the Ring can do big things for you. After all, look at last year's winner.
Exactly. And I mean, think about it. All the top tier talent, their names are already lined up in some way or fashion for WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So you are going to see a lot of those smaller guys on that King of the Ring card. I honestly am very much looking forward to that tournament.
Oh, it should definitely be a good one.
I would like to also take the opportunity to announce one of the participants from ECW.
Oh.
We drew the ballot over the weekend. You have 3, of course, because your brand won last year under Tyler Breeze. It was between myself and SmackDown for who would have 3 and who would have 2. SmackDown has 2, we got the 3, and I would like to announce right now that our first member for ECW and King of the Ring is none other than the Sicilian psychopath Tommaso Ciampa.
Oh, what a pick that one is.
This is certainly not Wade Barrett's usual theme, though.
No.
He's certainly embracing this new attitude of him.
Apparently.
I mean,
Soon.
you look at Barrett and Sheamus, they've both had their shifting opinions as well. They've had their shifting viewpoints. Sheamus, over these last 2 weeks, has had problems with the 4 Horsemen. He attacked on Anderson after the matchup as well, and then beat Roderick Strong last week. And I think I know of a way how I'm going to be able to resolve that situation.
Oh?
I'm announcing matches left and right now as these 4 men come out.
You are?
Next week, regardless of what happens here, and regardless of what happens next, Sheamus will face Baron Corbin.
Oof.
You want Big Hoss matchup? We give you Big Hoss matchup.
That is a big Hoss matchup.
So that one's going to be interesting. But right now we got this tag team matchup. This is a very weird thing to look at. A year ago, these two were combined in an effort together to go against the NWO. You know, they became tag team champions almost a year ago. And now look.
Yep.
They're on different sides of the fence in the tag team matchup. And Neville is teaming up with the man who they were going after a year ago. But the tables are flipped in that scenario as well, because the crowd are geared towards Neville and Cesaro.
That is true. But, I mean, you know, that's just the fun of the Project Universe. You never know what can happen from one year to the next.
Exactly. I mean, who would have thought, 2 years ago, CM Punk would be returning in the Royal Rumble and he would be having a rematch with Austin Aries?
Exactly.
I didn't think that.
And you never know what next year will bring. I mean, for all we know, none of these 4 will even be on ECW next year.
Exactly. Hey, none of these 4 may be on ECW next month.
Well, I mean, that's kind of what I was referring to by that.
But yeah, let's make it sound a bit more.
They managed to survive the draft of last year, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're all going to survive the draft of this year.
Yeah, I think, Cesaro was able to survive it because he was NWO. Them 2 were able to survive because they were tag team champions, and
Barrett just
got lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah, fortunate for him, I would argue, because he got to look at it now. A year later, he still gets to go at it with his arch rival about 3.5 weeks from now.
Which, if things were to end the way that they are right now, it would be kind of ironic, because that would mean that Barrett would be the only one that's protected from the draft this year then.
Yep.
The only one who wasn't protected last year.
Yeah, that would be weird if Barrett is able to beat Cesaro at WrestleMania. Well, we'll see about that. This is, of course, Cesaro's first time he's been back on ECW now. First time in 2 weeks we've seen him since that Bullhammer. No released statement from Cesaro regarding how he feels about what happened and everything along those lines. He's just training and ready to go to war with Wade Barrett. Once again, it's weird to think that these 2 men last year were gearing up for the main event of the grandest stage of them all as well.
A completely different look. Wade Barrett was on a huge roll after winning the Royal Rumble, just dominating the Royal Rumble really, and Cesaro was a part of the NWO at the time.
Exactly.
So it's definitely kind of crazy to see how much things changed in a year.
ECW certainly has a very flip-flop way of just taking things. I mean, you just got to look at it in another perspective. About a year ago, when Seth Rollins returned, the crowd of WrestleMania were absolutely adoring him. Now we'll head into this WrestleMania for whatever reason with the crowd against him.
Yeah.
So, and look at it as well. Last year, Diamond Dallas Page wasn't even thought to be anywhere near the WrestleMania card. Now he's in one of the top tier matches.
Now he's the ECW champion heading into it.
It's a very fun world we live in this universe.
That's what makes it one of the best, if not the best, universe out there in the internet today.
And I didn't say that.
I'm saying it.
Exactly.
It's the truth.
So, you know, oh, there it is. Right, meanwhile, back to this matchup right now. You got to admit, Cesaro, I should say, Sheamus and Wade Barrett, who weren't really teaming much together when Europe's Finest was around.
Oh,
They're
Cesaro's
getting on the
saying
same page.
dropkick.
Nice work there, though, by both guys there. Of course, all four men kind of know the strengths and weaknesses of one another.
Yeah, and I mean, just because Neville and Cesaro didn't team up, or Sheamus and Barrett didn't team up, doesn't mean that they aren't all, doesn't mean that they weren't all good in the ring with each other anyway. They were all prepared just in case any time they had to team up with each other, even if they weren't actually the tag team of it.
Yep. That actually makes total sense. I can't even argue against that.
Okay, I was going to say, Barrett wasn't even paying attention there for a second. I wasn't sure if he was actually going to get the tag there or not.
Pretty sure he was jaw-jacking some fans. Of course, we know how rowdy a Philadelphia crowd can get.
Well, I mean, Pennsylvania crowd. We're not in Philadelphia.
We know how rowdy a chocolate bar can get.
We know how rowdy these people hopped up on chocolate can get.
Exactly. Hey, some of these people may be from Philly, so, maybe that was the Philly section.
Oh. Oh no,
maybe we segregated this arena, I don't know.
I mean, we already spent part of the show talking about Mexicans and everything. I'm sure we probably happened.
We've covered segregation enough.
Yep.
Well, meanwhile, Wade Barrett all over Neville right now. Poor Neville, who had only recently just found a run of form after his 2 wins in a row over Cruiserweights. And has just been grounded back down. And definitely remembered by gravity thanks to that bull hammer. Really strong victory for Sheamus and Wade Barrett.
There you are.
Both men down on the mat to end that. Is that a prelude to WrestleMania for Wade Barrett?
I mean, maybe, but, he pinned Neville. He didn't pin Cesaro. In fact,
yeah.
Barrett and Cesaro didn't really have much of any interaction in the match. They had a little bit, but not too much.
So, we'll see what's going to happen regarding that. Either way, the 2 former Europe's Finest members, they may be on the same page right now, but of course I doubt they're going to be assisting one another next week when, of course, Sheamus gets ready to go to war with the man who we'll see in action up next, Baron Corbin.
Yes.
Not too sure what Wade Barrett will have planned next week, but I'm sure I'll have something in mind for him.
I mean, yeah, well, definitely. At this point, can you really have anything planned for Wade Barrett? Because he seems to kind of be going down this path where he just kind of does what he wants.
Exactly. He beats to his own drum right now, and in a way, so does this man. In his own little...
In a way.
In his own little world. The lone wolf that is Baron Corbin, getting set to do battle with Seth Rollins. The present meets the future.
Yes.
Baron Corbin, the prospect of ECW, the man who I am telling you is going to have one incredible 2017.
Oh, I mean, there's no doubt. We're sitting here talking about how much of a change from last year it is to this year. I could easily see Corbin in the main event of WrestleMania next year.
At this point, I am in total agreement. I mean, I think we've talked about it as the months have gone by, how much more Baron Corbin impresses us.
Mm-hmm.
Every single month. And then to a few weeks ago to have that war that he did with Braun Strowman.
Oh, yeah.
And and look at it, he's still here. He's still walking. He looks fine.
Yeah. I mean, I know technically he did have at least one part of it at the time, but, other than the temporary fill-in for being one half of the ECW Tag Team Champions, I can imagine that there shouldn't be too much longer before he has a title to hold as his own.
Oh no, would not surprise me. I mean, who knows? A few months from now we have Money in the Bank.
Yes.
I'm just saying. You never know.
Money in the Bank, by the way, that the Project Universe brings to you as a multi-brand show, not a single-brand show.
Exactly. We want to make sure that if that briefcase is going to be hanging up in the air, we want to make sure that all 3 bands have a chance to get it.
Exactly.
Meanwhile, we focus on this man, Seth Rollins, the present of ECW.
Well, one of the presents. I mean,
the present.
It's kind of hard to say he's the present if he's not the current champion.
He will be. Give him 3.5 weeks and he will be.
He's looking to, for sure, become the president of the ECW.
Looking to become the first man in history as well to hold the ECW Championship on more than one occasion.
Very true.
That belt has been going around for as long as it has, and I think it may be one of the few belts in this entire universe that may even be the only belt in this entire universe that has not had someone hold it more than once.
I don't know what you're talking about. I think you were forgetting about the coveted legendary European Championship.
No, it's held by Vacant.
Yeah, but it was held by Magnus, and then it was held by Vacant, and nobody else has ever held it.
2 people.
Yeah, that still doesn't mean that anybody held it 2 times.
Oh, that's a fair point.
That's what you were referring to. That's just then.
No, because there were rumors that Magnus was going to win it, and then they held it in Vacant, but then Vacant won it back.
Oh, okay. Something like that.
Yeah. Let's just go along with it. Let's forget Magnus ever existed.
Meanwhile, this.
Seth Rollins and Baron Corbin. It would actually... We're going on about Corbin and how he could be main eventing WrestleMania. It would not surprise me if at some point down the line, these 2 men went at it for the ECW Championship. At some point this year, I could honestly see it.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me at all. I mean, we got some big shows coming up later this year.
Exactly. I mean, we could see these guys going at it at the biggest party of the summer. Could see it happen on an ECW exclusive pay-per-view.
And possibly Survivor Series. That show has a lot of history when it comes to ECW.
Oh yes, it does. I think there hasn't been a year gone by that ECW hasn't taken center stage at that show at this point.
But of course, you know, that's also suggesting that DDP actually loses at WrestleMania.
Oh, he will.
I mean, you know.
I mean, I would like him to.
So, a bit of bias then.
It is a bit of bias, but it's a bit of bias because of the person DDP is. That's, you know.
I suppose that's fair enough. I guess I can't really fault you there because I'm kind of in the same boat of Raw.
Exactly. I am not, you know, I've said this time and time again. I said this even, you know, I can't even say I never said it because I said it like last week or something. DDP is incredible. DDP is a hard-working man when it comes to in between these ropes. The moment he steps out of those ropes, he becomes one of the most detestable men I've ever met.
Which I still have to take your opinion for because I have not yet had the chance to find out that for myself.
So he's certainly been riling up the anger as well within Seth Rollins because, for whatever reason, whenever it comes to promotional events, the interviewers, the radios, the networks, they all want DDP.
I mean, you know, it does kind of make sense. He is the current champion.
But surely you want to talk to the challenger as well.
Oh yeah. I mean, you know, I hate to keep bringing it up, but it's a very similar situation to what's happening over on Raw as well. I mean, Tyler Breeze is kind of in that same boat where he feels like he should be getting a lot of the promotional stuff like that, and he's not.
Well, we'll see if both men have the chance to prove everyone wrong at WrestleMania. Deep 6 by Corbin, but wow, that is the heart of Seth Rollins there. Corbin, it looked like it took him longer to hook the leg than the pinfall actually lasted.
I mean, you got to do a lot more to Rollins.
End of days, though, to Seth Rollins. Trying to get a really early win here over Rollins. What a win it would be, but nope, it's just a 2 count.
I mean,
Rollins, I think, was biding his time.
Well, and Corbin's good, but, you know, you got to do a lot more to put away Seth Rollins. I mean, we've seen this guy wrestle, like, 5-star classics in the past. There's no way you can put him away with just that. Look at that.
Takes the signature and a finisher and is able to come back with an incredible Tiger suplex. And what a bridge that was by Rollins.
Exactly.
You know, you may also not like Rollins as a person. You know, you may be of that belief, but you cannot deny in the same boat as DDP how incredible Seth Rollins is.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, Seth Rollins in the ring is easily one of the best out there.
Baron Corbin right now trying to best him with... Thanks, guys. It's not like we've got a really high-quality matchup going on here.
I mean...
I am going to knock him.
I kind of have to bring it up there.
I am going to knock him. This is a disgusting attitude. And look at this, Corbin.
You know, are we sure that we're not... Are we sure that every show's production crew isn't freight training Lugene at this point?
I'm not too sure, I'll be honest.
I mean, I can admit, I honestly haven't met with the production crew on Raw in a little while now, so it might have been them since I left. The Raw committee might have put them in place.
I have no idea what the ECW committee left me with in entirety. I mean, you know, they tried to sabotage me a bit when they gave me The Miz as #1 contender. Joke's on them, because I made a fairly successful pay-per-view main event out of it. There's Seth Rollins with the Vara Cadavra.
We may have to make a visit to the production crew truck after the show.
Yeah, they beat Rollins here using the ropes, trying to get whatever advantage he can, and it's not even a 2 count on Corbin.
I mean, you know, Corbin's got enough power to be able to kick out of that even with Rollins' foot on the ropes.
The weight difference here must be stretching to what, maybe 70 pounds to Baron Corbin?
I mean, you know, you can't really put that into context too much though, just because Rollins has been used to fighting bigger guys in the past and had no problem. So, but I'm just saying when you're rolling up somebody like that, it definitely doesn't help to have that power advantage.
Yeah, I mean, Corbin kind of shrugged him off like he was the former Cruiserweight champion Kota Ibushi.
Yeah.
We're looking for another deep 6. That's an expert counter by Rollins, though. You lean your head in, you leave yourself exposed like that, and someone like Rollins is going to be able to take advantage of it.
There you go.
To be fair, we're talking about the power advantage, but we've seen Seth Rollins have an incredible feats of power before, and I think we're about to see it once again. Deadlifting him up in the air for that Falcon Arrow superplex.
Yeah, I mean, between him and Cesaro, it's incredible how much feats of strength are possible by guys you wouldn't expect it out of here on ECW.
Exactly. Absolutely just chiseled athletes at this is what a Seth Rollins and a Cesaro are.
Oh, playing off that kick though, Corbin is.
That was a smart move. Oh, Arm dragged him on the way down. Corbin apparently and somehow must have landed awkwardly.
Okay.
He's got himself busted open now. I'm not too sure how that one happened.
I was confused by that as well.
I don't know, but Corbin bleeds now, and this may be you never know, it could be a disadvantage for Rollins. The lone wolf of Baron Corbin may get fired up, but what a Phoenix splash by Rollins. He's put superstars away with this in the past. Will Corbin be added to the list? No, he won't, but that was a very late 2 count.
Yeah, it was.
What a kick out by Baron Corbin. Rollins looking to lay him down. That single underhook DDT. Put Bennett away with it. A Bailey legal. Will he put away Corbin? He will not.
Corbin's not giving up.
Seth Rollins just has to... Oh, never mind. I think I found out what he's going to use to put away Corbin. Curb stomp for Corbin.
Can this do it?
A total barrage of maneuvers there by Seth Rollins. And it's enough for the win.
There you go. Can't take anything away from Corbin, though. I mean, look how much it took to put him down.
Exactly. Seth Rollins had to throw literally, I think, almost everything in his arsenal at him.
Well, yeah, I mean, he had to get busted open. He had to, he do the Phoenix Splash, that single underhook DDT thing, and finally the curb stomp to finally put him down.
And Rollins does not look like he's done. Come on, all right. Seth, the bell, the match is over. There's really no need for this.
Well,
this is taking it a bit far now.
I thought you've been supporting this man.
Yeah, but there are some things you don't need to do. Corbin's done nothing wrong. If this was DDP, I'd say fair enough, but this is just Baron Corbin. You've just had a matchup with this guy. This is a bit unnecessary.
It seems like he's trying to send a message to DDP.
Curb stomp to Corbin. Maybe Rollins saying that he won't stand for the people who the ECW crowd cheer, and now Seth Rollins demanding a microphone. He's got a piece that he wants to say as we try to get Baron Corbin out of the ring.
I don't know if that's smart on Seth Rollins' case, honestly.
Well, me either, but it seems as if Rollins is just wanting to take up as much time as he can before the main event. And if that's what Seth Rollins wants to do, I can't really stop him. I kind of have to just stand behind this counter. I have to sit here and just commentate. I can't intervene right now, and Rollins is going to say what he wants to say, and if he brings up DDP, I'm probably going to agree with him.
I mean, technically you could intervene, but, you just know that it'll bring you ratings, so you don't.
Yeah. We are also quite a far ways up, so, I'm not too sure if he can hear me from all the way up here.
It would make sense that Rollins wants to take up as much time, too, because, of course, the main event is featuring a guy who he beat, he beat recently, and a guy who he thinks he's going to beat at WrestleMania.
And it seems as if that's what Seth Rollins is complaining about. Look, he's saying the main event is between two people who he's knocked off, one he's gonna knock off, and yet he is forced to play second fiddle to them.
Yeah.
And there you go. That's not gonna happen in my ECW. In our ECW. This is our land. Seth Rollins promising once again those words: redesign, rebuild, and reclaim. That may just be a little catchphrase, a little motto right now, but come WrestleMania, that will become reality. Seth Rollins is going to help us hone in a new era of ECW like he has done before. And hang on, no, get out of the ring!
Diamond cutter.
Come on!
I mean, to be fair, you know, he did just attack Baron Corbin for no reason after that match.
What's that got to do with DDP?
Well, he was clearly sending a message to DDP. DDP felt that he had to send a message back, I guess.
I'm not too sure how I feel about that one.
I mean, I'm not necessarily condoning it. I'm just saying that I understand why he did it.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, here comes this guy.
Oh,
I'm still a fan of this guy.
Yeah, I can tell. I mean, this is... I've booked this main event, and I really don't know why, because I don't like either of the guys in it.
Oh, but this is the miracle.
You don't like him?
He's he refuses to give up the whole NWO thing.
Yeah, apparently. He should, though.
I mean, at least he's changing colors. At least he's not wearing the NWO colors anymore.
Yeah.
Mike Bennett, who disappointingly for him was not able to have his wife come join him in Project Universe.
Did she get knocked down the first round?
Maybe. No, I think she made it to the semis. Maybe she did.
No, I don't know. No,
I'm the one that commented to it, and not the semis. I meant the quarters. I'm the one that commented on it, and I don't even remember.
No, I don't remember making it anyway.
Of course, to be fair, I still do have lingering effects of a concussion, so that's probably part of it. Well, she still tried to get it somewhere in the tournament and didn't make it much of any work. But you never know. I mean, she could still be, like speaking to the ECW general manager here. You could still possibly bring her in for, a managerial role for Mr. Bennett.
Well, we'll see. It depends on if Michael Bennett, after WrestleMania is still an ECW superstar. Meanwhile, I'd like to point out the selfishness of DDP and the ego of him. He comes out to the ring, attacks Seth Rollins, has the indecency, he doesn't have the decency to stay in the ring and just let Michael Bennett come out. He has to go back behind the curtain and let his entrance theme play so the crowd can cheer him. That is egotism. That is being a big-headed twat. And that is why I do not like DDP.
I mean, it is a pretty decent entrance theme, though.
But why do this? You were in the ring. You were ready. You just had to wait for this man to come out. But you had to run back up the stage and grab your title as well just to show off that little bit more.
Well, I mean, I can understand grabbing the title part because, to be fair, we've made fun of people in the past who forgot their championships. Looking over at Bobby Fish on SmackDown.
Yeah, that title just kind of disappeared on occasion.
We did just completely make fun of anybody who forgot to grab their championships. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, there is that. But no, I understand. I get what you mean, and again, I'm not necessarily condoning any of DDP's actions, but I do have to question why he felt he had to do that. But not having talked to DDP in quite some time, I don't know what exactly the reason would be.
But once again, the fans continue to cheer him for whatever reason. Keep it up. Keep it up, everyone.
I mean, they might have been cheering Bennett there, actually.
No, they still don't like Bennett. That is one thing me and the ECW crowd can agree on, at least, is that we don't like Michael Bennett.
Which, by the way, you didn't... I don't know if you really referred to this at all, but this is a rematch of that finals there at Survivor Series as well.
It's also, it's a rematch, yeah.
This is exactly what happened in the end when DDP actually became the ECW champion.
And then, of course, it's a rematch. Yeah, I mentioned the Royal Rumble, didn't I? I didn't mention the Survivor Series.
Yep.
Good cover up there, but yeah, this is...
This is the man that DDP finally became champion over. This is the man he beat to do it. For a few more days at this point, the longest reigning world champion. Now,
Bobby Fish has eaten into that record.
Yeah. Now, as the ECW general manager, let's say Bennett is to defeat DDP here tonight. Where exactly would that raise him up in the rankings? I mean, I know Rollins already has the match at Mania, but would that raise him up in the rankings to possibly get a shot after Mania?
I have a motto. If you beat the champion, you're the number 1 contender.
Okay.
So if DDP loses to Bennett, and if Bennett he's got to continue to have incredible performances. He can't just beat DDP here and then lose from then on.
Understandable.
But if he beats DDP and continues to have strong performances where he continues to win, after WrestleMania, I'll probably name him number 1 contender. I'm not going to let personal problems that I have get in the way of business.
That's fair.
Michael Bennett is a draw. He's proven that on numerous occasions.
That is true.
But, if he loses to DDP and he doesn't impress me, don't go putting the blame at me for why Michael Bennett's not on TV as often.
Well, I'm not saying I'm going to. I'm helping solidify your abilities as the ACW general manager by proving that personal bias isn't going to prevent you from doing the job.
Oh God, no, not at all. I have problems. Look at that. I have problems with both these men. They're main eventing this show.
Yes. Well, I mean, you probably would have heard some backlash if the champion wasn't main eventing, because for some reason the world champion always has the main event shows in wrestling. No idea why.
Don't get it. I mean, I wanted Corbin and Rollins to main event, but no. DDP. Oh, me. I need to main event. I would have accepted it last week because it was your hometown, or 2 weeks ago, whenever it was when it was your hometown, but not tonight, big boy. Meanwhile, photo finish.
That move's put plenty of people away in the past, including DDP, I believe, at one point.
It's what won him the ECW Championship, and wow. Well, there's that resilience at DDP. I gotta go back to praising the guy in ring, but the weeks go by, he gets better. His cardio gets better. His resistance his heart gets better. His damage, how much punishment he could take, it just gets better and better.
Well, to be fair, he started off his ECW title reign as the guy who shouldn't have won that match. Like, everybody felt it should have been either Barrett or Cesaro. He shouldn't have won the match to begin with. So he's been doing this whole time trying to prove to everybody that he can actually be a respectable ECW champion. And that's why he continues to work hard in that ring to try to prove that he can fight with the big boys, so to speak.
The big boys.
The big boys.
But he guesses, all this hard work that he's put in, it certainly is going to pay off a few weeks from now. Yeah.
I mean, it's not too many people in this history that could say they defended a world title at WrestleMania, whether he wins or loses.
He's still got to go into WrestleMania as the ECW champion.
And even if he does lose, he can still say he was in the ECW title match at WrestleMania.
Exactly. So there we go. Bennett, meanwhile, taking a page out of Rollins' book, using the ropes to his advantage, and much like with Rollins against Corbin, hasn't really worked out that well. Uh-oh, Diamond Cutter!
I was going to say, DDP has that height advantage that kind of helps out, too, in that kind of situation.
Seems as if Rollins is... Rollins is still...
Rollins is on your mind.
Bennett's photo finish had a bit of a lingering effect. DDP drapes an arm over, and Bennett forces his shoulder up a 2 there.
Rollins is just on your mind all the time, isn't he?
Yeah, I'm just thinking of how great ECW is going to be in a month. Or how much better, I should say, it's going to be in a month.
DDT by DDP.
Oofed. Diamond Dallas Tage. Uh-oh. Bennett has him teetering here. Oh! Nasty punch in the face there by the former ECW champion, who drills his head into the mat.
Good lord.
Look at the difference between now and Randy Orton's. With Orton's, you are draped up against that apron. You're draped on those ropes. You're there for some time. You could kind of soften your landing, but that one was just right down on the head.
Well, and I mean, that's, should we really be surprised by Michael Bennett doing that? I mean, he's always been that vicious kind of person in the ring. Even when he wasn't part of the NWO, even when he was part of the Kingdom, or even since then, he's always been vicious in the ring.
Oh, yeah. And, I bring up Randy Orton temporarily. I will give SmackDown a little plug here. Be sure to tune into SmackDown because No Mercy had quite a rocky ending. If you paid attention to the event, if you watched the event, then you know what I'm on about. Meanwhile, Michael Bennett,
you have to watch that. Middle rope moonsault.
Nice, going straight into the cover there, not giving DDP a moment to recover. But again, he just cannot get this any further counts. I think DDP, though, constantly kicking out at 1, does start to have a lingering effect. Guys, oh my god, I'm gonna kill him.
Alright, now I have to assume at this point that it's Freight Train and Luigi back there.
Yeah. Oh, he pancaked him.
Especially because it's saying wacky tag. I mean, that sounds like something they would say.
Yeah. I think that's like the best of their spelling ability. DDP, meanwhile, with a diamond cut at the Bennett. Look at the difference between Survivor Series and now. Heading into that, DDP was a major underdog, and, he really couldn't, he didn't seem like he was going to be able to do that much against Bennett, and here, in his own way, he's held far more control of this match than Michael Bennett, and that's why it's led to that 3 count.
There you go.
I can't argue against the performance of DDP in the ring.
By Gotti.
Another win for Diamond Dallas Page on the road to WrestleMania. Michael Bennett doesn't look like he's next in line for that title opportunity at this rate.
Nope. Meanwhile, DDP, DDP managing to match Rollins when it comes to coming out with an impressive victory here tonight on ECW.
Here it is. Well, we're going to certainly see what will transpire in the weeks to come gearing up for WrestleMania. We've got 2 of our titles being defended, of course. We've got a tag team title match 2 weeks away, and then we've got whatever else is going to happen at WrestleMania. It is going to be a wild night.
It's going to be a huge show, no doubt about it.
I am now feeling the hype.
Oh yeah, it's hard not to at this point.
But yeah, what an interesting episode of ECW that was. Like I said, be sure to tune in next week for as we know currently, it is going to be Sheamus and Baron Corbin, and there is actually one more match I'd like to announce very quickly before we go off the air. Even though his performance last week wasn't that, tonight wasn't that great. Next week, one of our key matches will be Cesaro versus Seth Rollins. That'll end this episode of Universe. Thank you guys for watching. Take care, guys, and ta-ra.